guys, and welcome back to my YouTube. So today is Wednesday and I'm going to show you a little bit of a day in the life, typical day. It is a rest day today and I am just about 3 weeks into this little mini cut now. So I thought I would show you just kind of what I get up to on a typical working day. And I'm also going to show you what I eat as well. So please, if you are watching, like, subscribe and drop a comment below if there is anything that you would like to see more of or any questions you have. It's always good seeing comments and seeing kind of what is helpful as well. So this morning I had my first meal, so that was the meal that I just showed you. I had my usual meals. I do show my meals on here a lot and they are very repetitive, as is with bodybuilding, and because I like it to be easy. But I had my 40 grams of oats, my 100 grams of fruit, 25 whey and 100 grams of berries. So that was my first meal, and I did have my coffee before that as well. Put the dogs on a nice big walk as I do every morning. So we went out and just did a good kind of hour walk just to box off some steps. And I'm currently at, how many steps have I done? I'm currently at 5.8k steps, okay? So a good amount of steps boxed off this morning. Did a little bit of a kitchen tidy, and I've just been sat doing a block of check-ins. So I always have my meal, have my first meal, reply to all my client messages, normally start working around 8 o'clock, and then I'll just sit normally until about 11ish, just before 11, and get all of my check-ins done. So I've just about wrapped those up. I've just got a couple more to finish off, and I'm just making my second meal. So yeah, all's going well, to be fair, in this fat loss phase at the minute. Like I said, I have got my check-in tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. Weight does seem to have stabilised off a little bit this week, so we'll see if maybe things need moving and potentially things will get pushed along a little bit more this week, but we'll wait and we'll see what happens. But I'm currently sitting around about 142 pounds. So my heaviest off-season weight was around 157. So currently about 15 pounds lighter than my heaviest off-season weight. And obviously the plan is to compete back end of the year, September and October, which I'm very, very excited for. So we're just doing this little 10-week cut at the minute. Currently in week 3, or just about done week 3 out of 10. So we've got another 7 weeks to go. It is pretty laid back, and obviously I'm still hitting all the targets and everything, but we've still got a meal out a week. We've still got 150 free calories a day, which is, you know, it's fairly chilled. I am a little bit hungry, but you know, nothing crazy, nothing unmanageable. Like I said, the weight it's actually come up a little bit this week. It's about a pound up from last week. So we'll see what happens and whether things need to be pushed along a little bit more in terms of the next week and go from there. But we have actually booked, we've got a couple of trips coming up which I'm super excited about. So it may mean that we maybe extend the end of this fat loss phase and add another week on the end. But I'm off to the Lake District next weekend, which is going to be really exciting, taking the dogs, going with some friends, and we've got a little Airbnb. So we're going to go Friday to Monday into the lakes. That'll be nice and active, but we've got a kitchen so I can just prep all my food as normal. And then the following week on the Saturday, so is that next weekend? No, the weekend after, we are actually going skiing in France, which I'm so excited for because it's something I've always wanted to do and I've never done it. So I'm just really, really excited to go and do that. That's going to be incredible. So cannot wait. Just ordered all the ski stuff and hopefully that should be, it's arriving, what day is it? It's arriving tomorrow, so that will be really cool. Again, it's self-catered there, so I will be able to basically kind of prep all my food and things as normal. But like I said, we may add another little week onto the end of this fat loss phase just to make sure that we've had 10 solid weeks really pushing. But quite looking forward to doing it this way, to be honest, because rather than doing a big kind of 25-week prep, which I normally do, 20 to 25 weeks, it's broken up. We can take it a little bit more chilled at the start and then hold that through summer and then just do the last 12 weeks, starting dieting from probably around July, August time back into the British in October, which just gives us like a much shorter prep once we've got the initial few kilos off. So quite looking forward to doing it this way, which is going to be really, really fun. So yeah, I'm going to show you what I'm having. I'm just cooking my second meal. I have just cut up some broccoli. So this meal is basically salmon and veg. So I've got salmon and then some broccoli. So it's not very exciting. And then I actually have an optician's appointment. It's currently 5 to 11, so I need to leave in like 5 to 10 minutes. I've got to go and get some new contact lenses so I can put my ski goggles on. So that is the plan today. And then I've got a couple of calls as well this afternoon. And yeah, I'll basically take you through my day. Okay, so I have just arrived back home after the opticians, glasses free. Really not a contact lens fan, but I can't fit my goggles over my glasses, so, you know, needs a must. So got myself some new contact lenses and also grabbed some tan as well. I've just run out of fake tan. This is the Saint Tropez self tan. It's not the cheapest one, but I really like it. It's about £30. Yeah, feeling like an actual snowman right now. So today is my hair wash day, so I am going to do like a little hair wash and fake tan and stuff this evening. So pick this up from Boots, ready for tonight. So the time is 12:30. I'm going to grab a Diet Coke and then I'm going to sit down. I've got 2 calls. I've got a business call with one of my mentors, and then I've got a call with Tammy, who does a lot of like my kind of admin and sorts my calls out and things like that for me. So a little bit of a training call. So just going to, you know, hop on my laptop, grab my Pepsi and get a couple of calls done. Yeah. And that's basically what my afternoon is looking like. So go head inside and I will go and jump on these calls. Okay, so I've just sat down with meal number 3. Got my got my pizza hoodie on. I've just been sat doing a little bit of work, so close it up. So this is my 3rd meal. I'll show you it. As you can see, it's basically salad, chicken, and then this is smoky beetroot, and I've got some kimchi as well, and it's got some Nando's Peronaise on it. So yeah, this is my my 3rd meal today, and it is now 3:15, so a little bit later than, to be honest, than when I normally have this meal. But I've just had a couple of calls. So I had my call with my mentor, and then I also had my call with Tammy. So both of those are now done. Yeah, I'm just basically eating this. I have been adding, so the kimchi is something I've been putting on my salad, so either that or sauerkraut, which it's basically fermented food, so it's quite good for like gut health. So I've just been putting a little bit on. Just a disclaimer, if you do try it, just start with a tiny bit, because it can lead to a little bit of an upset stomach. So I've just been adding a little bit of that into my day. Obviously my meals are quite repetitive, especially with being like, maybe not so much in an off season, but with dieting they do get quite repetitive. So it's just something that I try and bring in, like rotate the veggies around a bit, just to try and add a little bit of variety from a health perspective. But you probably noticed today, like my last meal and this meal don't have any carbs in, and obviously the last one, the salmon, there was some fats from that, but with it being a rest day, obviously the carbs are great from a performance perspective, but when I'm dieting, it's a really easy way to pull the calories down a bit, because the calories are actually very similar on my training and rest day. Well, I just go slightly higher fat on a rest day. So they've got like the salmon, we've got the steak, we've got like the dark chocolate that I had in my breakfast, for example. So it's just an easy way to kind of keep the calories down, get a bit more fats into the diet. And obviously fats from a female perspective are so important with hormone production. So we want, if we can avoid it, we don't want to be pulling fats down super, super low. So that's the reason my carbs are a little bit lower. Obviously I don't need as many carbs. I'm not training, you know, I don't have as much of an energy demand on a rest day as I do on a training day. But it just gives us the opportunity to push the fats a bit higher without the calories going higher on the rest day. So there's nothing wrong with having the carbs on a rest day. It's just, obviously when your calories are lower, you're quite limited in terms of, you know, you've only got so many calories. So if you want to try and get some fats in, you're then limited on how many calories you've got left for carbs, which explains why my carbs are slightly lower. So I have 5 meals on a rest day. 2 of them have carbs in. So I have oats in my breakfast and I have potatoes with my dinner evening meal, and the rest are just like protein, veggie, fat meals. Obviously I do have like the apple, for example. I had an apple after my last meal, which is on my plan, and that obviously has some carbs in, but nothing, you know, there's no like big carby meals on my rest day today. So that's the reason for dropping the carbs a bit. It's not that the carbs will stop fat loss or anything like that. It's just that we want to push fats higher and get a bit more variety in with adding things like the salmon, and obviously it does have more calories in, so something has to give. So yeah, it's just an easy way, you know, and you can get so much volume in. Like this is a big plate of food here for very little calories. It's like 200 calories for this meal, so it's just a nice easy way to get a nice big meal in, you know, for not many calories. So yeah, I'm gonna sit and do a little bit of work, I've actually got something exciting that I'm working on, which is going to be a little bit of a kind of mini series thing, which I'm going to be planning and filming and organising this afternoon. So that's my little job for this afternoon. Plans to get some music on and just block out and just get a solid kind of 2-hour work block done on this. So that's my little project for the afternoon, and I've got my big drink as well to stay hydrated. Okay, it is time for dinner. So I've just spent a lot of hours, working on something. I finished it. I'm really excited. I'm going to go and show you what I've been working on. But it's been a really productive afternoon. Talked through a couple of ideas on the call that I had, the mentoring call. And I just thought, right, I've got a bit of time this evening. I've got no calls in. I'm not training. I'm going to just sit down and bash out this little mini project I've been working on, which I'm really excited about. It's essentially focusing on how to train, how to eat, how to face your journey. If you are a female really wanting to take your physique to the next level, you wanting to build that strong, defined, like toned look, how do you actually go about doing that? I think as a female, it's really easy sometimes to fall into that trap of feeling like you need to be smaller, you know, you need to be leaner, you need to be dieting all the time. And it just leads to this constant cycle of like chronic dieting. And obviously, as a competitive bodybuilder, I do spend a lot of time dieting and a lot of time really pushing the extremes of that. But I think it's so important to understand, and this is becoming a lot more common now as well, that as a female especially, looking after your hormone health and your longevity, that you need to take lots of time away from dieting and getting lean. And I think that's honestly where most women struggle, because you can fall into the trap of just constantly dieting, constantly running your body into the ground, when actually what your body actually wants and needs is time away from that, time eating enough food, fueling your body well, getting the nutrients in that your body needs. Like from a hormone health perspective, you know, the female body needs to be sitting at a decent body fat level. It doesn't want to be super lean all the time. Being able to have the energy to recover, to train hard. And again, like for females, like sleep, stress management, the female body is so much more sensitive to stress than men's bodies. The hormones are so much more sensitive to stress. So it's just really important, if you are a female that is going through your own physique development journey, to actually really look after your body and allow your body to have that time away from dieting. And that's exactly what I did last year as well. I obviously competed like quite heavily back to back through 2021, again early 2022, and then I did have the back end of 2022 off, but then prepped again 2023. So last year was just about really taking that time away and going in a little bit fresher this year. So yeah, I'm going to show you, I will give you a little sneaky peek into that and what I've been working on. But I just think, you know, as a female, it's such a great period to go through, actually allowing yourself to just have time to eat, to train, to enjoy that whole process. And it's something a lot of females are nervous about, but I actually think when you really embrace it, it can be so fun and enjoyable. And obviously the more you go through this process and the more you go through the different phases of your journey as well, your body composition, as you are going through that push-up and you get more muscle, your body composition is going to improve the more you go through that process. And like me, for example, I feel like now when I'm sitting at a heavier weight, and I got to my heaviest ever weight in this off season just gone, I felt still fairly confident in my body composition, like felt like I still looked like I trained and went to the gym. But that's only come from years and years and years of building and pushing the food and getting the muscle on. Like I remember the first time I went through a building phase, I literally looked like I'd never even stepped foot in a gym before. So it's just embracing that process and remembering that no one cares if you've got a bit more body fat. Like you're still the same person. Like, so what? It's a bit more body fat. Like it is what it is. Nothing bad is going to happen. You can diet later down the line. So I think once you kind of accept, I'm going to call this acceptance. Once you accept this process and you embrace it and stop constantly looking for the negatives, it can be such a great process. So anyway, ramble over. My potatoes have just been cooking. I meant to eat this meal a lot earlier, but I got so carried away doing the work that I haven't yet eaten it. And my dog has been very needy today as well. She's just been sat on my knee the entire time, and now she's just looking at me, aren't you, on the floor? Yeah. So yeah, I've just cooked my potatoes. I've done a little kitchen tidy up. So we've got my potatoes, we've got 150 grams of potato. I'm actually starving today. I'm gonna have this steak, which is sirloin steak. This looks a bit thin though, so I only need a quick cook. And then I'm gonna have these vegetables with this meal. So nice and easy. And got my big drink. And then after this, I am gonna just finish on for some steps. 9.5K, so I'm gonna eat this and then I'm gonna take the dogs out on a little nighttime walk just to top up the steps. Okay, so I've just eaten my dinner. It's just gone 7 o'clock. So normally I do stop working between 7 and past. I try and stop working in the evening. Sometimes I'll have a call occasionally until 8 p.m, but not very often. So I thought I would just show you what I have been working on and how you can get access to this if you want to. So essentially what I've done, I've created 3 kind of guides with a little video over the top of me explaining it. One of them is talking about how to train to actually build your physique. One of them is eating to fuel your training progress and build your physique. And the last one is on phasing your fitness journey to build your physique. So 3 different videos, each one is about 10 minutes long. This is what they look like. I'm just gonna show you this briefly so you can see. So this is what I've basically been working on all day, all afternoon. You can see it's like a little guide and then it's got kind of a few different pages on it, just explaining some different things around training. And like I said, I've done a little video on these just to explain it in a lot more detail and explain all the points. And there's 3 different documents. I don't know if you can see this. 3 different documents here, 3 different guides that I've basically put together on a little like spreadsheet type thing. So if you want this and you want to get access to it, just drop a comment below and I can just pop you over the link for the drop me your Instagram name maybe below. I can just DM you the document if this is something that you want to have a look at. It's free, you know, it's just to help and guide a little bit because I know as a female it can be quite scary going through the process of building muscle. So yeah, that's pretty much my day wrapped up from a work perspective. This is basically how I structure my day every single day, to be honest. So today's a little bit different because it's been a rest day. Obviously I don't have training, so I've had a bit more time to work today, but usually how I basically structure my day is I get up, do my morning routine, walk the dogs, and I'll work normally I do my check-ins on a Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. So I do my client check-ins from 8 until about 11, half 11. And then I'll normally go to the gym, over the lunch, do my cardio, do my training, etc. And then I'll come back and then I'll be back into either calls or like a work block from 3 until about 7, half 7 at night. So I essentially break my day down into like 3 to 4 hour blocks pretty much. Normally I do have calls or a podcast or something, normally calls in the afternoons and evenings, either current clients or new clients or, you know, accountant, business calls, whatever, team training calls. But yeah, today's just been an unusually quiet call day. I did have 2 calls actually at lunch, but I haven't trained today. And that's basically how I structure my days, Monday to Friday. I always plan out my week on Google Diary as well. So I will literally block out, you know, when my check-ins are going to be, when I'm going to go for a walk. I'll block out any calls I've got, any like appointments or anything. And then I actually put my work blocks into my Google Calendar as well. And I always do that on a Friday afternoon. I have a block in my diary that is called planning block for like an hour and a half on a Friday afternoon when I get back from the gym, where I basically do like all my admin, update all my trackers and my spreadsheets and plan out my next week. I'll sit down, plan out all my social media, all my YouTube podcasts, etc. And then I will literally sit and block out my diary for the next week. And that just allows me to really make sure I'm organised and I tick all the boxes. And that's something that I think is so important when you are busy and you've got goals and you want to make sure you hit the goals. Like, you want to be, you know, you need to have a good structure. And it's something that's really helped me as well, is sticking to like the same blocks, because I've tried a lot of ways of doing this, and I used to just have calls booked in at random times of the day, and you know, I'd be doing my check-ins at different time of the day. I'd just train kind of at some point during the day, and it became so just all over the place. So I'm really clear now on, like, I don't have calls very occasionally, but I don't run calls in the morning, especially on my check-in days, because I like getting my check-ins done first thing in the morning. I always train at a similar time of day because I know then I've got the evening to work and call and do calls and things like that. So for me, just having that structure and having that kind of, you know, this is the time for this and this is the time for this, it just really makes me so much more productive. And then I try and come off my phone around, I'll answer the last messages around 7:30, and then the phone goes away so I can walk the dogs again in the evening. I can go and have a shower. Tonight's going to be hair wash. I wash my hair every 5 days, so tonight is hair wash night, and I am going to fake tan as well because I am very pale right now. So a little bit of a nice self-care kind of night tonight. That's going to be the plan for me. And I've still got my yogurt meal left as well. So that's typically how I structure my days, and then I just try and have the weekend off. Normally I'll have like a YouTube video or a bit of social media stuff to do, but I'll try, and I'll still answer client messages, but I try and have the weekend off, like sitting in here in this room on my laptop. So yeah, just a little insight into how my days are structured. Anyway, I'm gonna go and head and walk the dogs just to get these last few steps in. And yeah, Pippi's looking very tired and not up for it. Okay, so just got back from the dog walk. My steps are now at 11.1k, so I've got like 900 steps left, which I'll probably just do pottering around the house. So my last meal, the time's now 5 to 8. I've got 0% fat, fire Greek yogurt, 200 grams, 100 grams of berries, and then I've actually got my 153 calories that I haven't used yet today. So I'm just gonna have a little bit of dark chocolate to finish those off. And that is pretty much my day. I need to just get a little bit more water in because I feel like I haven't drank enough today. So I'm just going to get some more water in. I did have my sups this morning as well. So I had vitamin D, I had a probiotic and a multivitamin. And then this evening I need to have my magnesium. I do take a PMS supplement from Supplement Needs, and also my omega. So I break them up just because, like, the PMS supplements, there's like 5 tablets, and if I have like loads of tablets in one go, it makes me feel really sick. So I have to break them up into 2 halves. So just got the last few tablets to go. And then yeah, we're pretty much good. I'm gonna go and have a little pamper night basically, and shave, fake tan, hair wash, just sort myself out. That is pretty much today. I thought I would just also fill you in on my current calories, just to tell you where they are at. At the minute, I'm still doing my 6 half-an-hours cardio. I've got my 12 to 13k step goal, and my rest day food is 1840 calories from the meal plan, 149 grams of protein, 164 grams of carbs, and 64 grams of fat. So you can see the calories are actually the same as the training day, but I have 20 grams extra carbs on a training day and less fat, so it's just a slightly different split. And then I have my 150 calories choice, so it basically puts me just short of 2,000 calories at the minute. So that's where the calories are at. Hopefully this has just been helpful in terms of having an insight into what is happening at the minute. I've got my check-in in the morning, so we'll see what happens and if the weight decides to come down and if anything does get changed. But I've still got 7 weeks left in this fat loss phase, so still a really good amount of time to keep cracking on. Well, hopefully this has been helpful. Please do make sure you are subscribed if you are watching along, and please like, comment, and I will be back very soon with another update.